Good morning, good morning. Big Square, roadrooter.com with your morning horn of Z, your sip of coffee. So all three Cliff High interviews are up and active. The last one's is the really good one. I mean, I like them all, but those of you interested in crypto and the future, check out the last one. I posted it right at the top of roadtoruta.com. Last one's called $1,000 Bitcoin parties with crypto. What is it called? With crypto freeing humanity. Check it out because this is one of those videos you're going to look back in 10 years and say, oh my God, how did he know? So yes, very cool. Thank you, Cliff High, for taking the time. And all three are at roadtoruta.com. Just go to roadtoruta.com and you will see it right there. Ruta's interview with Cliff High in the house. Raw cleanse. Today starts smoothies. We're doing great. Have fun with the smoothies. And let's talk cryptos. What I want to talk is mass adoption. I know a lot of my buddies out there are running around saying mass adoption, it's all about getting people to know it, but there's a problem here. And I'll tell you what the problem is. I'm not saying don't do it. Absolutely. Spread the word to everybody you know because it will save their ass. Problem is mass adoption will not and cannot happen until the old system is taken out. Why? Because nobody needs it. It's like Litecoin. Nobody needs it right now. You don't need a means of exchange. But the moment you do need a means of exchange, that's when mass adoption happens. So no, the backed project coming in is probably the worst thing that could happen for mass adoption, right? Why? Because it's a manipulation tool. And it's a way for the big money to keep control. Do I think it'll work and last? No, I don't. I think the ultimate, even though my friend Bitcoin Ben and my friend Cliff High are saying, no, it's not going to be there's going to be no crash. If there's no crash, then there's no mass adoption. Ben, I hate to tell you, there's no crash, there's no mass adoption. And the reason is people aren't going to change just because the price is going up. The vast majority of humanity can't afford to buy cryptos. Can't even fathom the idea of buying cryptos. So unless, mass adoption ain't going to happen unless it's needed. But the moment it's needed is when it happens almost instantly. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because, yeah, I love getting, I don't know how many people I've onboarded now, thousands. But there's 7 billion people on planet Earth. And those thousands that I onboarded, I don't even know how many are still even, they have the cryptos I gave them as part of Road to Root stuff, or I taught them about it, or I helped them get it. And it doesn't hurt, obviously. I mean, I'll go back to this Gandhi quote, whatever you do will be insignificant, but it is very important that you do it. I love that. It's a great quote because that sums up those out there pumping for mass adoption. I'm not taking the wind out of the sails of mass adoption. It's very important that we do that, but it is absolutely insignificant. Insignificant in the scope of where we are right now, which is the old system's working fine. You're not going to find 1/100th of a 1,000th of a 1,000,000th of a percent of people who are going to change. Unless they have to. If they have to, then you have instant mass adoption. Because there's no other alternatives. So yes, mass adoption will only come with the crashing of the old system. The MOAC. MOAC, mother of all crashes. That's the only time we're going to get mass adoption. The rest of the time we're just spinning our wheels. But it's important that we spin our wheels. To at least get that idea out there in the universe that there is another way. So unless there's a crash, which I believe there will be. I know Cliff says there's going to be bailouts and secret bailouts, and Ben says it's going to be cryptoized. I don't see it. What I do see is a system that was set up to destroy itself in the most egregious way with the non-regulation of derivatives in the late 1990s. It was all 100% a plan. Otherwise, they wouldn't have allowed hundreds of trillions of dollars, quadrillions of dollars to be written in derivatives. They needed something big enough to blow up the system. And the Dodd-Frank Act, when that was signed, there was a passage added to it that said before you can bail out the banks, you have to bail out the derivatives first. What does that do? And everybody's like, what? No, that'd be crazy. That's the bankers taking over, blah, blah. No, it ensures there won't be a bailout, is what it ensures. No way they're going to give, Congress can give hundreds of trillions of dollars to the banks and then, give people haircuts on their bank accounts. The whole haircut thing would never work in the United States. I'm sorry. That's the stupidest thing I've heard. Did it work in Cyprus? Yes, it did. Tiny little island without the history of being free. Watch. If our government comes in and says, "Oh, we're gonna make everybody have a haircut because the banks need to be bailed out," see what happens to those banks overnight. They will be burning from sea to shining sea. So there won't be any haircuts. There will be a total default, yes, but there won't be any haircuts. That's my opinion. Now we'll find out, right? But absolutely, we're not going to have mass adoption. You can't get mass adoption with a couple hundred people here, a couple hundred people there. You can get mass adoption if the population needs to use something as money and the old system has crashed, has gone away, has stole their money. So you should be rooting. Anybody who wants cryptocurrency mass adoption should be begging for a collapse in the system. Otherwise, we're screwed. And I do think it's coming. And that's what the Road to Root documents all point to. So where are we? Bitcoin hovering just below 10. Yes, remember, this is on computer programs. Everybody's like, oh, will it go down to 850? It could go to zero, or it could $1 million of Bitcoin with a click of a mouse. These are not real trades. Just look at the volume. The Litecoin volume's gone down. Now it takes 2 days to trade every Litecoin known to man, which is insane. I did notice that a couple of exchanges now are on maintenance with Litecoin, not allowing withdrawals. Something might be going on there. So keep an eye out. I do expect we are inching into August, September, October is going to be a really hot time in the kitchen for cryptos, up and down. So just the only thing you can do is hodl. Hang on for dear life. And ultimately, I agree with Cliff. We're going to hit $100,000 Bitcoin parties this year. At least they'll be talking about it. This year. Not next year. 2018. Just keep that in mind. And how can that happen? With a hiccup in the banking system. Just like in 2008, except bigger. Monster. We will see. And another way, I mean, it doesn't have to be derivatives. It doesn't have to be the oil situation. Oil derivatives are gigantic. That's the largest derivative in commodities, the oil derivatives. And they got to control the price of oil. And with Iran throwing a little wrench in the Strait of Hormuz, who knows what's going to go on. But, well, let's just add another. Let's talk about Boris Johnson getting elected and saying, hey, no deal Brexit, no deal. It's the Donald Trump of the UK. I mean... Everybody says that if the UK exits the EU, it would destroy the financial system in Europe, which would destroy the global financial system because it's so weak already. It doesn't take much to push over that apple cart. And what's the biggest apple cart there? Deutsche Bank. Absolutely, 100%. It was designed. This is all being designed. The whole no cap on the debt ceiling, spend as much as you want, all being designed. Destroy the old system so we can move forward. If you want mass adoption in cryptos, that's the only way to get it, is to destroy the old system. And I want mass adoption. All right. And then Boris Johnson. Sterling has plunged below 1.23 for the first time since March 2017. It's funny when they talk about currencies plunging. The US dollar is going to crash. Everything's relative. It's going to be in relation to what? To the euro, to the pound. Inflation's lied about, so there's going to be never any inflation. unless they want to say there's inflation. Because all those numbers have been fudged for so long. Oh, I can't even imagine how distorted those numbers really are. John Williams of Shadow Stats goes a long way to doing that, but I don't think he scratches the surface because that's only the stuff they report. What about the stuff they don't report? All the money they create out of thin air that they don't report. Quadrillions, infinity, you name it, you pick the number. And because money is confidence these days, that's all it is. It's just confidence. You have to rely on Steve Mnuchin and Donald Trump. I'm sorry, but they're the ones who control the U.S. dollar right now, and Jerome Powell. That's the problem with any other system other than the cryptos going forward. In cryptos, you don't have to trust anybody. You have to trust math. That's it. So, really interesting times on the road to go to Patreon. All kinds of good stuff on the Patreon channel. Check it out. All 3 Cliff High interviews. A great silver announcement. What's going on with silver right now? And all kinds of good stuff. Some hints. Libra analysis. Anyway, check out Patreon channel. It's only $10 a month. And you can support the road to Ruta. Also, those of you going to Vegas who have paid their Litecoin for the Ruta party, I sent you guys an email this morning. If you didn't get it, send me an email, bix@roadtoruta.com. It has to do with if you want to sign up for the Litecoin Summit. So we have the Ruta party on the 27th of October, and then the Litecoin Summit is the 28th and 29th. If you want to go to the Ruta party, send me an email, bix@roadtoruta.com. I'll send you the information. It costs 1 Litecoin to go to that party, which is $90 right now. You could have got it at $24. If it goes to 2,000 by then, it's going to cost you $2,000 to get in. Hey, you'll be so rich by then it doesn't matter, right? Anyway, this is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Talk to you later.